Hey, good morning. Thanks for joining me on the CGS Biblecast. We're going to talk about being vulnerable today. Seems like being vulnerable is a weakness, but today we're going to talk about that. Maybe it's not. Vulnerability gets a bad rap. I don't know if it's military or whatever context, but in our faith, it may not be necessarily a weakness, although many times it is considered a weakness in our lives. However, when God is involved, what we perceive as being weak is precisely what gives us strength. You see, pouring out our hearts to God from a posture of vulnerability ushers in intimacy as we draw closer to Him, and He is our strength. In any kind of relationship, vulnerability is a good thing. And if you're in relationship with the Lord, that could be a really powerful thing. So vulnerability, that could be where you end up drawing all of your strength from. In Matthew chapter 26, verse 39, Jesus expresses this vulnerability. He's an example to us. He prayed knowing full and well that He was about to endure torture, humiliation, death on a cross, and total separation from the Father. Although we never may experience what Jesus experienced, we can follow His example by pouring out our hearts to God in prayer. Let's read it here. Verse 39, chapter 26. He went on a little further and bowed his face to the ground, praying, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup of suffering be taken away from me. Yet I want your will to be done, not mine." He's in the Garden of Gethsemane, and knows he's about to be handed over to be tortured. He knows this is not going to go well. It's going to be very difficult. Yet, he goes to his Father, and he's vulnerable, and he says, "Listen, if there is any way, take this cup from me, because I would rather do that way." So, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to admit that you would maybe do something that's maybe not the right thing, but it's the easier thing. It's all right. Go to the Lord with it. So we don't have to hesitate or be afraid to share our secrets. Nothing we can say will surprise the Lord. As we pray, He ushers in healing, comfort, and guidance that only He can give. And here's what's great. God's peace and strength is just a prayer away. So be vulnerable. Pour your hearts out and listen to His voice, because He has great things to say, and there is great strength that can come from that. Some of the most impactful times that I've ever spent in prayer were moments where I came to Him and I was vulnerable. I said, "Listen, if there's another way, let's do that. But if this is your will, let's do this." Go to Him. Be vulnerable. In any of your relationships, be willing to be vulnerable. There's a lot of strength that can come from that. If you're going to war, don't be vulnerable. But life is not war, all right? Life is about relationships, and in relationships, vulnerability can be a good thing. Have a good day. Hope this has encouraged you.